So let's put your hands together for Dr. A.S. Prasad, Vice President, Product Management, Vertiv India.
Can you get the slides? Okay, so Namaste, Suprabhadam. My name is Prasad. I work for Vertiv in India and I look after product management for Pan India for the next 15 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm trying to give you a corporate overview of what Vertiv is, a little bit about the solutions that we do, and then the detailed deep dive of that will be done by my colleagues in the masterclass that's going to follow after that. So thank you everybody here for coming in the morning on a Friday and making this a very packed house. And thank you Ishray for all your support in organizing the program for Vertiv.
The world depends on data we power and cool. From a simple swipe to life-changing medicines, from push notifications to generative AI. Where there's data, there's Vertiv, powering its potential. From pioneering precision cooling to Vertiv's global leadership in critical infrastructure. From the era of mainframe to the dawn of virtualization. From your data center to the cloud, Vertiv has been powering and cooling data's potential for over 5 decades. And the more data created, the more Vertiv technology is needed. From supercomputers powering artificial intelligence to modular data centers enabling fast-track deployment, we're powering the potential for tomorrow's breakthroughs. Vertiv's scale and innovation is accelerating the industry. From empowering what data needs now to cooling where data goes next. As AI heats up, leading chip makers turn to us to keep them cool. What's next? A sustainable digital future enabled by Vertiv. Join us at the edge of innovation, supercharging data's next move. Because the best way to predict the future is to power it.
Okay, so before I start, just a question about how many of you here have used or recommended Vertiv products in your career span here? How many of you know about Vertiv? Okay, less hands. Okay, how many of you here want to know more about Vertiv because you're here for the next 20-minute session? Okay, so a lot of hands. So that's what I want to talk about in the next 20 minutes, about what Vertiv is and what do we do, and then specifically in the data center field and the C&I field, which is control and instrumentation and industrial and commercial. What do we do? Okay, so Vertiv at a glance, we are a $6.9 billion company globally. That's what our 2023 revenues. Our headquarters is in Columbus in Ohio. We've got globally 27,000 employees, and some of the major customers globally, including Reliance in India, is all our customer base. So take the name, Meta, Nvidia, Facebook, Amazon, they're all our customers. And we've got 22 manufacturing sites all across the world. And we have 3 of them in India, which is in Chakan, which is a new facility for thermal management and cooling that we have done. That's inaugurated in January 2024, a brand new facility. And we have a facility in Ambernath, which is our power facility, which is hardly 50 kilometers from here. And we have one at Hadapsar in Pune. So we've got 3 facilities in the country. We've got 240 plus service centers across the world. And we have a reach in 130 plus countries. So that's what Vertiv is all about. And we have 65% of our business comes from critical infrastructure solutions. Services is a big thing for Vertiv because once we sell a product and solution to you, we will maintain that for a life cycle of 10 years, 15 years, and some of them even higher than that. So a lot of our revenue, services and spares contributed 23% of revenue, and we are also into what is known as integrated rack solutions, which means it's not just power and cooling that we do, so we give you the complete white space facilities, which means the racks, all the IT management that goes into it, the rack PDUs and all that. So that's what we do for the data center space. So geographically, a lot of our revenue comes from Americas. So 56% of this $6.9 billion comes from United States. And EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa, is 22%, which is all the countries in the Gulf region and Africa. And Asia Pac, which is India, China, and all the Southeast Asia, Australia, Oceania. This region is 22%. So that's what our revenue composition from a geographical perspective is. And as you see here, 75% of our business comes from data centers, and communication networks, which is telecom networks, is 15%, and commercial and industrial is 10%. So that's what our revenue comes from globally, which adds up to $6.9 million globally. So that was all about Vertiv globally. Why doesn't it move? It's not changing. Can somebody help me in this? Okay, yeah. So global presence. So this is how we are spread across the world. As I said, 130 plus countries is where Vertiv is, and we have manufacturing assembly locations at 22 locations, service centers 240 plus, service field engineers. We have 3,700 plus engineers on our own roles. So we have a large service base, install base globally, and 3,700 engineers across the globe, plus our partner community. So we have got a large partner community and franchisee community. So put together, that number is grossly understated here. It is 5,000 plus engineers in the field across the world, and technical support response with 200 plus people, and we have customer experience center labs, 19 of them, and we operate in all these geographies: Europe, Middle East, Africa, and India. Okay, so there's a little bit of a history. We have got a long history of 60 years history is what Vertiv has, what brings onto the table from Vertiv. So we started as 1961 as Libert Corporation, and then a lot of mergers, acquisitions, and all that in between. And in 2016 is when Vertiv was born. So there was a private equity investor who bought the business from Emerson, who was our earlier owners. So they were holding this company for a long time, around 17 years. And then the private equity company bought over from Emerson. They renamed it as Vertiv. And this company has grown from 16 to 23, from strength to strength. Just to give an example, in 2020, 1st of February, Vertiv was listed in the stock exchange. Okay, it was listed in NYSE. And the stock price at that point of time when Vertiv was listed in NYSE is $8.5. $8.5. Can anybody guess the stock price last evening? $8.5 listed exactly 4 years ago. What would be its current stock? What would be current Vertiv stock price? Any guesses? Yeah. So it's $90, okay? So $90 is the current price just in 1 year, 2023. Thanks to all the AI boom and the lift that we're seeing in data centers, our stock price has grown just in 1 year, grown 225%, just in 1 year. Okay? And from the time $8.5 to $90, it's around 950% growth. So that's what our stock is giving return to our investors. So we are proud of what we are doing, and we want to continue doing that. A little bit about India's geographical footprint for Vertiv. So the Vertiv operates in all these geographies across the country, and Deepthi would have shown you earlier itself that the Vertiv Express is moving from east to north, north to west, and west to south, and back to east again. It's a full journey. So this masterclass series also be conducting across the country. And in India specifically, I want to tell you that we have 41 service and sales branches across the country. These are the 3 factories that we have in Chakan and in Pune and in Mumbai, in Ambranath. We have a global engineering resource center. It says 200 plus. This number is wrong. It's 500 plus. And by the end of this year, in India, we will have a global R&D center, which will have 1,000 plus engineers serving across the globe. 1,000 plus engineers across the globe, unmatched. And in terms of number of employees, we have 2,000, including 500 service engineers on our rolls, plus we have 500 people in the partner community. So total, we have 1,000 plus service engineers. So we sell power, cooling, IT management solutions, and we help you to support it for an entire life cycle, and we have 1,000 plus engineers. None of our competitors in the space that we operate have this kind of an unmatched record of 1,000 engineers in the field, so that's our biggest USP. And we have 17 warehouses, we've got partners, 180 plus, and we work with distributors. So that's what Vertiv in India is all about. We've got 2,000 plus own employees. So we just inaugurated this plant in Chakan, which is around 125 kilometers from here. So this plant near Pune is 4.8 acres. It's a complete thermal plant where we make all our thermal solutions, which means starting from small room cooling, which is like industrial version of comfort air conditioners, till Liber chillers. So we make chillers, we make dry coolers, we make large DX systems. So this is, and also in-row cooling racks. So this is what we do in our plant in Chakan. Earlier it was in Ambernath, so we moved it because of the AI boom. We are seeing a lot of uptake for our products, so to cater to the demand and to increase velocity to our customers in terms of our response, we've started a new facility. It's a grand facility, 200 plus thousand square feet facility, entire cooling portfolio, we're doing it there. The state-of-the-art psychometric labs. So none of our competition in this field have this kind of labs. So we have 3 thermal labs in Ambernath and Chakan put together. And what we're doing is all this for help you so that our lead time to you is much lesser and higher throughput. And we're constantly improving, and we're trying to constantly learn from the market and then keep improving what we can do for US customers. So a little bit about our product profile. So I'll not get into the details of the slide. The masterclass series will take you through in details of this. But we are into complete infrastructure solutions, which means we are into entire power management. We are into the powertrain, starting from grid to chip, from chip to atmosphere. So there's a lot of heat load in data centers now, thanks to what's happening in the AI boom. So earlier the racks used to have 4 to 6 kilowatt, but then today we're talking about 10 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt, 40, 70, 100. We're working on a project right now with one of the government customers, 120 kilowatt per rack. So that's the kind of rack loads that we're seeing. So we are into complete grid to chip, chip to atmosphere. We help you cool your racks in the data center, and we are also into IT management. So my colleagues here will also talk to you about IT management solutions we have. This is what a complete portfolio is. So the portfolio strength and innovation, we approach you for the business that we do. A little bit about the overall market that we operate. The data centers market is a huge market for us. So out of the total $45.5 billion of market that we do, out of which we get the $7 billion of revenue, the data centers is a huge market for us. Thanks to the colo and the cloud boom, we're seeing $17 billion is the total market size of the colo and the cloud boom market that we serve. $16.5 billion of enterprise and distributed IT. Communication networks, telecom networks, like whatever you see in the country, Ideas and Vodafones of the world, Airtels of the world, they all work, we work with them. So globally, this is a big market for us, $7.5 billion. So put together with commercial and industrial, all that is not data centers, is commercial industrial for us. The total market size is $45.5 billion. And this market is originally growing at 7% per annum, 7% per annum globally. And then what we are seeing with the AI boom, this market is now growing at something like 10% per annum. And that's also helping the Vertiv stock, because the investors are seeing that we are in a space which is actually growing, and what our Prime Minister calls as the Swatantra Azadi ki Amrit Kaal, okay? So he talks about from 22 to 47. This is what Bharat's Azadi ki Amrit Kaal hai. But for the people in the data center industry, this is the next 10 years is Amrit Kaal for us. So we are going to see sustained growth, exponential growth as rack densities increase from 4 to 6 kilowatt to upwards of 120, 140 kilowatts. This is good business, and this is actually going to create a lot of opportunity for all of us sitting together here, and also a lot of challenges, and Vertiv is here to help you, support you in that journey. So as we are growing, we are also thinking about what are those big trends that we need to think about. So what are those top 3 trends that Vertiv is seeing in the market? Because can we sustain this growth of 7 to 10%? 10%. It's a huge number globally if you see. So we looked at this, and the top trend that we see is AI, okay? So AI is is AI setting the term for the future of data centers. And as we go along for the day, the masterclass series, my colleagues will talk to you about the solutions and how do you make your data centers and your infrastructure in AI ready. So we help you retrofit your existing facilities so that we can add solutions to that to make it more rack dense in terms of cooling and power. So AI, the surging demand of AI is the first big trend, and it's a secular trend that we're seeing across the world. India is a little behind, but then maybe India is also catching up. Maybe 6 to 10 months, 12 months of delay, we'll see a lot of AI boom that's happening in data centers across the globe. The next thing that we're seeing is everybody wants to be sustainable. There's a lot of talk about sustainability, because if we continue to grow the way that we grow, we will not just be able to live with one planet. We will need 3 planets like Earth. So there's a lot of talk about sustainability. Everybody wants to use green refrigerants and all kind of green things. So Vertiv is seeing that as the next big trend. So battery energy storage solutions, microgrids, fuel cells, and all that, smart grids, interoperability, that's the next big trend, which is a growth market that we are seeing globally. And the third one is enterprises prioritizing flexibility, which means 5 years back, everybody thought everybody's going to the cloud. But today there is a cloud, there's multi-point cloud, on-prem, and a hybrid of both of that. So customers will have to actually prioritize flexibility, which also means that we will help you prioritize flexibility. You will have edge data centers, you will have core data centers, and we will help you to deploy that and then operate it. So that's what the next big trend is. There's a lot of flexibility, especially your existing racks you've already built for 5 to 10 kilowatt of load. How do you make it upwards of 40 kilowatt? How do you make it upwards 60 kilowatt? Because all these NVIDIA chips and the AMD, the Intel chips that we're talking about, the GPUs and all that, is talking about per chip is something like 1,000 watts, okay? So it's huge. So customers will have to think about how do you retrofit your existing racks and solutions, flexibility, and that's where we see as a big trend, and that's where we can help you. So you would have seen this keep it humming thing. So what is all this humming about? That's our new thing. So we want to keep it humming, which means you go to a data center and you just listen to this. You listen to the hum there, okay? The power is working, the cooling is working, everything is working. It's not just silent, right? There's a hum. So we want to keep everything humming. So we are the architects of continuity. We want to keep everything humming. So it's the feeling of business running smoothly, and that's our tagline, and that's what Vertiv Express is taking across the country to keep it humming. So the keep it humming is made on 3 simple principles. Okay, the first one is keep things simple. So we want to keep things simple, we want to keep things grounded, and we want to help you to run your data centers more efficiently. The second one is about human. Okay, so we want to have that interaction with all of you. We also want to learn from you. And in this journey, there's a lot of challenges going forward. So we really don't know what's the future because things are changing exponentially. So we want to have the human touch in what we do. And the third one is to keep it humming. Okay, so we want to keep the business humming. We want to keep the growth humming. And we also want to keep Vertiv's share price in the stock upwards and keep it humming. So a little bit about AI solutions. I'm not going to talk a lot about it. I have a colleague of mine from the London office, Alex Cordoville, who's going to be the next speaker. He's a director of strategic marketing, and he's also kind of an AI guru. So he will talk a little about, he's going to talk in detail about the AI solutions that Vertiv has. Okay? So how many of you right now here are into the AI space, which means you're consulting or you're using or you're having AI workloads, artificial intelligence, Gen AI, the big buzzwords today, currently in your data centers? How many of you want to know about what AI can do for your data centers and what it will be? So a lot of hands. So you're in the right room, and that's what Alex is going to talk about. I'll just open do the curtain raising for that. So AI, everybody's talking about AI, but there's a lot of confusion, a lot of challenges. Nobody really knows what they want to do, and that's where we can help you. Because we work with experts. We work with NVIDIA, we are a partner of NVIDIA, we are a partner of Intel, and that's where we can help you get your infra upward ready for the AI boom. So there's a lot of standards uncertainty. There's a blurred line between facility and IT. Earlier, the facility, the power and the cooling is separate. The IT manager will just take care of the rack, the servers inside. But today, liquid is actually getting into the rack. Liquid is actually getting into the rack, which means there will be challenges. You can't say the facility is away. The facility and the IT line is getting blurred. That's the next biggest trend. There's a big track record in high density. So as I said upwards, racks are going upwards of 100 kilowatt. There's a noble technical expertise that's required. And as I said before, since liquid is actually the solvent and the liquid is actually going to come to the chip on the server. Everybody is a plumber, okay? So that's what the big trend that we're seeing. And sustainability. So whatever we do has to be sustainable because we need to be a finite resource on this planet, and that's what we need to do. So sustainability is something that we need to think about. Okay. So what Vertiv can do for you is we are trying to solve your cooling and the power exponential growth that we are seeing. So we are partners in collaboration with chip makers leading the AI revolution, which means we are partners with NVIDIA and Intel. Okay, so you can see on the internet today, Vertiv is a partner with NVIDIA because today, globally, data centers use something like 2 to 2.5% of the global power requirement is by data centers. And with the AI boom that we're seeing, in the next 6 to 8 years, it can go up to 10% global power usage will be the data centers. So Vertiv is currently working with NVIDIA to how to cool the next generation workloads in data centers. We are a one-stop infrastructure partner with a complete portfolio, as explained before, the details of which will be told by my colleagues in the upcoming sessions. And we have the complete monitoring and control platforms. So we have got a complete solution wherein we can, on a complete dashboard, you can see both your IT and the facility on one complete dashboard. And Vertiv at this point of time is globally the only player in that field which has got one complete dashboard which can bring your IT and your infra together. And unique deployment capabilities. One of my colleagues here is an expert on modular solutions, prefabricated solutions. So we can also make data center for you just in a rack. So we have data center in a box, or a data center in a rack, or a data center in an aisle, or a prefabricated data center which we can ship across to you. So it's a ready-made data center. You just need to put servers and it's all ready to go up and running. And we have a global presence and scale with manufacturing locations 22 plus across the world, 3 plus in India. So that's what a little bit about Vertiv is. Thank you very much for the patient hearing. I'll be here for some more time. And my colleague, I now invite Alex, my colleague, to speak about specifically what do we do in AI and how can we help you. Thank you very much.